Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the castle here at CCBC Essex. Aaron Thomas in the broadcast booth, once again bringing you the action live on YouTube, your home for all of the night's home games. And it is the final game of this week. It has been a long week of soccer here at the castle, and it's been a successful week of soccer. And the women's team trying to cap it off with a win against the Harcum Bears. Knights winners of 2 in a row coming into this one. Knights currently 2-1 on this long week of soccer action. Yesterday's win, a 9-0 beatdown of Union. They got off to an early and fast start. 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. Never looked back. That win over Union, the Knights' 9th win on the season. Their 6th by way of the shutout. And some early offense here for the Bears as they've got a corner. Bears, a limited sample size for them this season. 2-1-2 is their record coming into this one. Knights, on the other hand, 9-3-1. You do a little deep dive into some of the common opponents, and the Bears could be a tough matchup for this Knights team. Knights had a loss against Monroe University back on September 21st. The Bears' last game was against Monroe University in a 3-3 tie. One of the Bears' 2 wins on the season is against one of the teams that the Knights lost to as well. Bears own a 1-0 victory over the Fighting Owls of Hartford Community College, and that was the one loss that the Knights had this week. A nail-biter of a contest. So a tough matchup here, potentially. And it could be a defensive-minded matchup, as the Bears, not known for their offense, only 1.8 is their goals per game average coming into this one, but on the other side, their defense very strong. 1.2 is their goals against average. Going up against this Knights team, something's got to give. Because the numbers similar defensively. Also 1.2 is the goals against average for the Knights, but their goals per game, much different story. 4.3. As we see the Knights piecing some passes together there, getting the ball deep into their offensive zone for the first time. Not coming away with the shot on goal that they wanted. Making the Bears go the full length of the field here. Get some early cardio in. And Vetri with the steal right there at the midfield. And a collision between 2 players. Henning going for the ball on the far sideline, or the near sideline, I should say. And so was the Bears' defensive player, number 7, Widgedix. Little hot potato game continues, back and forth with possession, back and forth. With the steals now, as the Knights gained possession at the midfield, moved it just a little bit forward. The feeling out process continues here in this first 5 minutes. Though the Knights seem to have grabbed a little early momentum now, keeping it on this side of the field. Knights win possession there after the save from the keeper. Field continues to tilt in this direction. Strong midfield play. The Knights creating a wall right there at the midfield line, keeping the ball from crossing too far into the offensive zone. Now, of course, as soon as I say that, Bears find a way to get past that midfield line for a moment. Holding on to it for a second with the whistle. The Knights now have a chance to regroup defensively. Tough one touch there. Knights quickly taking it right back. I see both coaches on the far sideline pointing out some directions that they want to see the team move the ball in. Bears are able to take the space on the near sideline, switch the field. But again, hot potato with possession. A couple of nice touches there from the Knights, though. Henning playing a strong hustle game, working through a couple of defenders, taking the ball deep in the zone, and the missed touch will keep it here. Knights a chance to continue building this momentum. Turn in towards the middle, now trying to turn in towards the box. Defender right there on the hip pocket, and it's a steal on the far sideline. And a nice little two-man game to move it out of the danger zone. Defense to offense with some urgency. Now switching fields. Friedenberg there to cut off the angle. Bears with possession in their zone, though. And the Knights quickly pushing them back. Defensive line stood strong. Bears going to have to find another way. Now a long carry in through the middle. Setting up the through ball. Shot. Makes the save. Strong save on what looked like a tremendous offensive opportunity. Great take individually through the offense. One pass, one shot, one save. We are still scoreless. Huge save. And an early test. The Knights had spent a few minutes tilting the field onto this side. Then they watched the Bears put together a nice, strong run, ending with the game's first what could have been moment. The Knights now trying to regroup, figure out a way to keep this ball on this side. Bears, of course, trying to build on that. Strong run in through the middle once again, setting up the through ball, but this time Fuentes is able to get a little of a bit of a deflection. Slow down the offense just a tad. Once again, kind of what we just saw a moment ago, taking it in through the middle just a little bit where there's some space. Defense collapses on the ball carrier. Only to find someone squeaking by. Strong passing display from the Bears so far here over the last minute or two. One touch pass. And then dribbling through another player. Nice cross. Better close out defensively, and then the goalie comes off the line with a half a second to spare. And a great job of body positioning by the defender. Had a black jersey right there, trying to bury that into the back of the net. Perfect positioning. Defense answering the call right here. And then the steal. The through ball. That had been strong here over the last minute or two. That one intercepted by Fuentes. And now a race. Shot, and that one, no chance. Top corner. Turnover in the defensive zone ends up being costly. The Bears had Pepper in the back pocket. Finally, they've been peppering that goal. Found the recipe for goal number 1. In this first 10 minutes, really a tale of two different 5-minute stretches. One 5-minute stretch dominated by the Knights, keeping that ball in their offensive zone. Well, I guess we use the term dominated loosely. Then the other 5 minutes, the Bears keeping it in their offensive zone, finding a way to break through. Game's first goal, how does it change it? The Bears playing with a little bit of new confidence. The Knights trying to keep this game right here in front of them. You got to think the Bears will need more offense, but are they capable? Are they going to get more chances at offense? They're right there pretty much at their season average of goals scored on the season. 1.8 was their per game average coming into this one. 9 goals scored on the total for the season. Of course, only 5 games played on the season for them, but still the Knights, just 9 scored yesterday alone. And then the 6 unanswered that they had after the halftime break in their game at Carroll. Hey, this team has been on a heater offensively. You got to think they're going to find at least 1 or 2. The Bears going to be able to answer with the Knights if this thing does turn into somewhat of a shootout. We've had our first answer of the game to the question of who's going to break through first. That's the Bears. They have broken through first. But still, so many questions left in this one and a whole lot of time. We've almost played 15 minutes in the first half. The Bears continuing to hold on to the momentum and control in terms of time of possession right now. We see the flag for offsides. Something starting to take place there on that far sideline. But a good job by the defensive line. You moving as a unit using that offsides flag as an extra defender. Oh, nice play. Trying to play it towards space, but the body positioning strong by the defense. Got the ball played out in front, but did not let the man pass. Strong defensive effort on the other side from the Bears. And the Bears quickly go defense to offense. As quick as that ball was in the other side, it went right back like a boomerang. Knights have to clear it over the line. Regroup. Missed touch there from the Bears. No one anywhere near. A tough spot for a head ball, though, or excuse me, a throw-in. Knights had that original throw-in right next to the corner flag. Got to go the full distance of the field here. That's why it's so crucial offensively. Establish position and possession deep in your offensive zone. You get the defense on their heels, and then once they get possession and go for the clear, they got to go the full length of the field. Make it tough. Everything tough here so far for the Knights. Getting a good deflection there as it was pinballing around that top of the box area from one side to the other. Finally getting a shooting lane, and quickly the door was closed on it. And over the line, says the sideline judge. The whistle will change possession. And a sigh of relief for the Knights, I'm sure. Long possession here for the Bears. Nice pass in through the middle. Leading pass over to Lane. Or that she was the one closest to it. Just a little bit too much mustard on that one. Knights were able to get it deep in their zone, though. Just missed out on that possession part. And they figure out how to keep it on this side of the field. Be a throw in for the Bears. We saw a little game of back and forth a moment ago when the Knights had it. Can they figure out a way to piece some of these passes together? Oh. And as soon as I say that, tough break, no one there to receive it in the middle. And here's the run. Gaining the offensive zone, and the save made, cutting off the angle for that inside post. Couldn't secure it and fall on it, but the save made nonetheless. Score remains the same. Strong take into the offensive zone. Set up once again by the turnover. Bears move it back over to the back line, and now quickly making the run from the defensive spot. Stretching them out just a bit, but not enough. When you go defense to offense with a long take from the defensive line like that, you got to have a midfielder step up, take your spot, or come back, so to speak, and take your spot. We'll hold that thought for a second. Great effort play. Lane trying to go the distance on the long pass. Securing possession and going through two defenders. And then the race with the goalie. Oh, so close. And ball lost on the sideline. Strong take defensively. Holding the ground. Oh, wow. Two players catching the ball amongst themselves, both going for it. True 50-50 ball, so to speak. We have played 20 minutes in this first half, and it is a good one so far. The Bears enjoying a lead, but the smallest of leads. A 1-0 game right now. And the Knights defense has definitely stepped up their play since surrendering the first goal of the game. We've seen the Bears get a few chances offensively, but not peppering the goal with the same kind of consistency. The Knights defense instead now keeping the ball in front of them and really limiting the chances to get it up and over their heads. I think the key for this Knights team is figure out a way to connect some of these passes more consistently. The turnover game, a real killer for them right now. They got the offense that you know that they're going to figure it out, and they're going to give themselves the opportunities. Are the Bears going to give them an opportunity? Meaning, are the Bears going to find themselves out of position, and the Knights going to be able to capitalize on that with their firepower? It only takes one. And the first one for the Knights could change everything. They're pacing it slowly but surely up the sideline with these throw-ins. But eventually they ran out of real estate. Mr. Referee wants him to hold it up just a second as the substitution checks in for the Knights. Bears switching fields. Knights stepping up, keeping it there. And the Knights stabbing at it right there. Couple of passes, now it's a race. The through ball finds its way through. Defense steps up initially, but the second effort leads to the second goal. And that initial angle cut off. And then the second effort. Different story. 2 goals to start the game here for the Bears. 2 unanswered goals. Knights got to find the recipe. Got to figure it out. They seem to be reeling right now. Down, but certainly not out with a lot of time left. 22 minutes and 58 seconds left in the first half, and then a whole second half in front of us. The Knights got to change that energy just a bit. Figure it out. Make the plays as they present themselves. They've got the players. They know what they need to do. Can they figure it out? A test here for the Knights at the Castle. Bears looking to play spoiler on what has been a great week of soccer. Deja vu, through ball, same spot. This time the cannonball caught cleanly. Trying to split the wickets. KDF makes a save. A couple of big ones from Kayla Davis-Friend already. 3 saves come to mind. One where she cut off the angle, the other where she took it off the top post, and that one there just a moment ago. This game could be looking much different if it wasn't for a strong goalie performance from the Knights. Knights getting the offensive play here going maybe. together a couple of passes. Bears poking it away at the last second. Throw in here for the Knights. Running out of real estate, though. And a tremendous job of positioning defensively, using the body, not allowing any kind of driving lane there. Knights stepping up right there at the midfield line, keeping it in their zone a little bit. A strong tackle, creating the change in possession. And trainers quick to come out onto the field as the Knights players down. We will take a break with the two teams. 20:38 left here in the first half. Knights with the start of a strong possession there after the throw in. Trying to keep it in control here. The game's still in a manageable spot. The Knights average 4 goals a game and they're down just 2. Need to just keep up with their averages right now. That's all they got to tell themselves. It's going to take more than 2 to beat us. The Bears on the other side, though, feeling like maybe they've got more than 2 in their back pocket. Possession stays with the Bears, stays on this side, under 20 minutes to play in the first half. And it'll be interesting to see what the adjustments will be for these two teams when we get to the second half. Oh, nice move around one. And dumping it off on the sideline. Bears. Effortless passing game right now. Shut off at the last second. That through ball was headed in towards the goal scoring area. And the door was shut on it. Good positioning defensively. Now the run. The race. And the Bears win it. The Bears won the fight and the race. The race for the ball and then the fight for positioning. As Lane was right there on the hip pocket. Trying to steal it once the Bears got it. Well, that ball is a magnet for the Bears' offensive zone here in the first half. It has lived on this side through most of this half. And it continues to be that way. Tired legs may be on display from the Knights after yesterday's marathon, offensive marathon, I should say. Or maybe just punched early by this Bears team. Knights punched early and yet to answer that punch with a punch of their own. 2-0 game as we approach 15 minutes left to play in the first half. The Bears in control still. Bears lost it on the far sideline. Knights looking to take advantage of this early gift. Bears have it play all the way back to the keeper. And quickly, they got on their high horse. Speed demon through the defensive zone. Turnover right there at the midfield, but the Knights cannot secure it. And this Bears team is moving quickly. Defense to offense with some urgency. But always in control as now they move it back. Search a little longer for a different angle. Nice defensive stop. A tackle made. Can they win possession? One touch. And the through ball off the shoulder. Lane gets that through ball. Around one. Pass in towards the middle, maybe. A missed opportunity there for the Knights. But strong effort just to win possession and gain the zone. Avery Lane had 2 black jerseys right there. Somehow still able to win possession and take it about as far as she could take it. Tough angle for goal scoring, though. But also a tough angle to get the pass off. Because even if she touches that ball in towards the middle, goalie's right there to maybe catch the pass. Something building here, though, maybe for the Knights. Throw in is about as deep in their defensive zone as you can get for the Bears. Knights trying to keep it here. Henning around and just misses that one high. A tremendous job to create that offensive opportunity. That was really a blink and you missed it moment. As Henning had dribbled around 2, then lost it. Then Lane had her opportunity, and then she lost it. And then, boom, one touch, one shot. What could have been? Beautiful strike. What could have been? What might still be? That could be a momentum switching play just a bit. The Knights have done a good job over the last 2 minutes of keeping this ball on this side of the field. Coming alive just a little bit. Showing more offense here. Again, the Knights were able to keep it on this side. The steal at the midfield. And a couple of touches later. The goalie's having to come off the line. The Knights showing more life offensively, more growth offensively, maybe figuring something out on the field against this Bears team. Maybe they themselves are seeing some adjustment. Lane, the shot, and somewhere that'll count for 3. I do think it's safe to say that the Knights have grabbed some of that momentum. They have figured out a way to keep this ball on this sideline. And some signs of frustration from the Bears, as they are now watching a few turnovers lead to offensive chances for the Knights. Three different looks at the goal over the last 4 minutes for the Knights. 2 of the 3 absolutely spectacular shots, just a bit high. As we see the whistle. A little bit too much of the rough stuff, says the referee. This freebie for the Bears comes from their defensive zone, but it really comes as an opportunity for them to catch their breath, maybe slow down this newfound momentum for the Knights just a bit. See the ball pressure applied by the forwards and midfielders. That's what has led to these extra opportunities offensively. Can they keep it up? Got a piece of it. It slowed it down just a little bit, but the Bears still on it. What a tackle. No, they say he didn't get. Oh. Penalty kick opportunity here for the Bears. Certainly got the body, but I thought they got the ball first. But he's in position. He makes the call. And here's the spot. Bears already up 2 with a penalty kick opportunity with 11:24 left. KDF guesses to the right side, but too much power behind that one, and it is 3 goals to start the contest for the Bears. A tough first half that has gotten a little darker here for the Knights. The Bears came into this one only averaging 1.8 goals per game, 9 goals scored on the season, and 3 here against the Knights, a team that came into this one with a goals against average of 1.2. Not the best day at the office for this Knights defense. But still, the offensive firepower keeping their hopes alive. I think they need one before we get to halftime. At least some more looks at one. A strong close in this final 10 minutes. Keep their hopes alive in a big way. We already saw the Knights themselves start to make a few adjustments on the field, create some extra opportunities. You know, the coaching staff is going to have a few things that they want to see them improve on. Are they going to be able to figure it out? Oh, that takes a strange bounce off the head, but the goalie is right there. No hesitation coming off the line. Bears trying to find the passing lane, trying to find the driving lane, something to get this ball out of their defensive zone. They're piecing together some strong passes, but the defense right there once again. Defense for the Knights everywhere the ball is. And finally getting that turnover. Bears move it back to the keeper. Looking for the space. And again, good, strong pressure applied by the forwards and midfielders. Trying to create another offensive chance. Can't get it done without possession, so the Knights, time of possession crucial for them in these closing 8 minutes of the first. Nice job athletically. Climbing to the tippy top of the ladder, getting the head on that ball. Be a head ball bonanza here. A throw-in party. Knights were piecing that ball together, moving it up the sideline with a throw-in, slowly but surely, and then they watch it move all the way back to the keeper in one fell sweep. Got to do it all over again. And that has been one of the big struggles of the game. Everything has been towards the net for this Bears team. They have had long drives, long possessions. Oh, nice move. Regain the balance and then get the rock away from the defender. Alexandria Henning looked like she was going backwards for a tumble and then put together a nice little move there. Knights trying to find the right move to get some offense as this Bears defense continues to be solid. Trying to find it on the far sideline with the through ball, but it's just a little bit too far out in front. Bears had the angle on the ball too, just for good measure, but the opportunities continue to pass by the Knights. The Knights are getting a taste of their own medicine here, really, in this first half. They shut the Owls out completely in their game on Saturday. No goals, no shots on goal. And right now, they're getting a taste of that here against the Bears, as it's nothing but zeros on the big board for the Knights. Knights wanted the offsides call, never came. So rolls back to the keeper. Five minutes to play now in this first half. The action has slowed down since that penalty kick. The Bears slowing down their intensity a little bit, and the Knights being held in check. A stiff arm's length now between them and the Bears. 3-goal lead. As we see a nice slide tackle slowing down the attack, and then possession one. Ashlyn Fuentes trying to set it up for the teammates. Too much of the rough stuff, says the referee. Bears dribbling in towards space, but Knights closing that space quickly. Lindsay Lopez with the stop initially. And now the goalie makes the final stop. Two teams looking forward to halftime. Of course, two different reasons. The Knights want to talk strategy. They want to figure it out, take a break. What do they need to do to win the second half? The Bears feeling like they're in control. They wish they could roll right into the second half. What's going to be the story of the second half as we see a nice little heel flick over to a teammate cutting towards the goal. Friedenberg with a nice steal right there on the sideline. And a missed touch will lead to the turnover. And Bears' strategy here over the last couple minutes has been more like keep away. Just keeping that ball away from the Knights, limiting their touches, limiting their possessions, and not being super aggressive. And I think part of that is not wanting to stretch themselves out and not leave themselves vulnerable to the counter-strike. The Bears have established the pace here. In this one, it's the Knights who have got to answer. They've shown some signs, but just not enough. And the zeros on the board here as we hit the final 60 seconds. Knights trying to change that with one long run. And nice tackle cutting off the lane. Cutting off the lane towards the goal and cutting off Avery Lane. And now it's defense to offense with some urgency. And a nice move on the deflection, putting the body on the line. Good strong crossing attempt. Slowed down by the Knights defense. Bears looking for a buzzer beater here in the final 20 seconds. And it will be no buzzer beater as the clock is about to hit triple zeros. And the score is going to be 3-0 going into halftime. The Bears, 3 goals on 5 shots on goal. They win the first half. Can the Knights steal it from them and win the second half? All they've got to do is hit their goal average per game total of 4 and keep the Bears' offense in check. It's a tall task, but they've got the players to be able to do it. Stick around with us and find out if they can pull it off. Ladies and gentlemen, the second half is just moments away. The Knights are hoping that the switch of fields brings a little bit of good luck on their side. Maybe that side of the field has got the magic touch. For sure, they're going to have to find the magic touch if they want to see the other side of the comeback trail. And it's a long trail to start this second half. The Knights down 3-0 and being shut out right now in terms of shots on goal and really offensive chances altogether. No corners for them as well. It is big triple goose egg up on the scoreboard as we start the second 45, but that was then, this is now. Knights looking for a new change, looking for a new groove, and cutting off the angle towards the driving lane. A strong defensive stand to start. Flip side of that coin, though, is for the Bears. A little deja vu. That was pretty much exactly what they were looking like in the first half. Seeing what they want and taking it. So many long offensive possessions ending either with shots on goal or being sent away at the last second by a defender or goalkeeper. The Bears had the Knights on their heels through most of that first 45. There were glimpses and stretches in that first 45 where the Knights looked like they were about to have the Bears on their heels. As we see them on their heels there, Brown with the strong take after cutting the corner. Tough angle for goal scoring, though. Even tougher angle to get the pass off as there was two black jerseys right there in the middle of the box. Knights making the most out of that situation. Maybe coming alive here. Communication breakdown there for the Bears. Knights. Little Christmas came early moment as they'll take this throw in. Mackenzie Silenzia right there on the backside of the Bears player, slowing down the transition opportunity. Knights still looking for an answer, still looking for a way to change this game. Bouncing ball after the clear. Wow, what a touch. As it sent right up the elevator shaft, but a great battle for the ball won by the Knights as a centering head ball from Grace sets up the offensive possession. The Bears never out of position, though. Right there to win it back. Second effort after the deflection. And Friedenberg with the poke. Sending it away. Now trying to cut off the angle for the cross, and KDF is there. And two black jerseys there, waiting for a rebound opportunity. Three white jerseys there, trying to make it difficult. Numbers game on the Knight side there defensively. Of course, the numbers game doesn't mean anything if you don't have the positioning down. Not only were those three players in perfect position, had that fourth defender, Friedenberg, right there on the hip pocket of the cross taker, bearing down, trying to make it difficult. Knights need to be perfect here defensively. They have to win this second half. And, of course, you think them winning that second half, you automatically think of goal scoring. Well, they need the goal scoring, of course, but they need the defense to create those goal scoring opportunities. They need the defense to shut down the offense of the Bears and create those defense to offense situations and create those extra possessions. The Knights showed glimpses of that at times in the first half, and when they were able to do that, they were able to get some looks at the goal. But, of course, still no shots on goal and no goals scored yet in the second half as KDF comes off the line and off that front post with some urgency. 2 saves made already in the second 45. We're 6 minutes into the second half. And it's the Bears still the only team with some offense. Great positioning defensively. Knights are still able to win it. At number 10, Rojas, a stone wall right there at the midfield, winning possession initially for the Bears. And we have got a good fight at the midfield between these two teams going back and forth. Here's a centering pass. Goalie comes off the line with just a half a second to spare. And I like extra mustard on my dogs, but man, oh man, that was one of those moments where the Knights needed the perfect pass, but just a little too spicy. Had Lane and Henning in position to get that bouncing ball. Either one of them had a chance to ride underneath of it. 0 still on the board for the Knights in the second half. But keeping the pressure on. One-touch pass over to Brown. Brown makes the move to get around one. What a move to get the leg up, as that pass had goal scoring written all over it. Tremendous display of that timing and athleticism. Bears defense to offense with some urgency. Knights cutting off the angle and winning possession. Strong defensive stand from Coach King's squad. They'll need another. Bears quickly into their offensive zone after the clear. Centering pass. And it's too far out in front. And it's way too far out in front. Looks really solid at first, but that thing just kept on rolling. The old chip and run, but the run, well, it ran all the way to the bank. Somebody else's bank, that is, of course. Here's a race. Goalie is going to win it and has to make a strong play. Goalie tested there. Knights looking to keep testing the goalie here. Henning with the throw. Good backspin on that throw, setting up a chance for Lane to run underneath of it. But again, tremendous positioning with the body by the Bears defense. And Vetri right there from that middle spot, kind of the cog in the wheel that makes everything move smoothly when it's moving smoothly. So many times, Vetri will win a possession for the team and create an offensive possession where she's not maybe getting an assist, but she won possession with a strong defensive stand at the midfield spot. Set up a couple of passes for the teammates. This Knights team, when they're playing at their best, they are strong up the middle. Now, that is usually a trend for most teams, as we see Lane on the breakaway. Shot, And there it is, number one. It had to start with one, and the Knights got one 10 minutes into the second half. Can they get a second? The Knights answering questions here in the second half, but still more questions in front of them. They finally stopped the run at 3 goals. They finally got the lid off the cookie jar. And, of course, it's all defense to offense. The strong defensive stands in this second half creating these extra opportunities offensively. And Coach King's squad making the adjustments here in the second half, trying to go for a quick strike. And that time the angle slowed down and shut off. Goalie's able to get the mitts on it. The Knights know what's in front of them. They know what they need to do. They've watched it happen now. They've watched it pay off. Hope is the lie that we make come true. The Knights, it ain't a lie if you believe, and right now they're holding on to hope, and they're making it come true. And don't quote me on that one. I stole that from Superman, by the way. Long through ball, Lopez there to intercept it. Lopez quickly going up into the offensive zone, creating the defense to offense moment. Here's the take, and that's intercepted at the last second, looking for the centering pass at Avery Lane. Lopez has to quickly get back into the defensive zone. And Friedenberg slows down the Bears' attack for a moment. 34 minutes left in this second half, and my, oh my, it's got a new feel to it already. And if you think this is interesting, what if the Knights get one more? This will have a much different feel to it. And KDF is quick off the line, just as quick as the Bears player was to try and close it down. A quick sigh of relief from the Knights players, coaches, and fans, as that was the first time in a while that ball had rolled that far into that side of the field. Maybe that change of fields did have the little lucky break that the Knights were hoping for. Centering pass, once again intercepted, this time by one of the defensive linemen. Strong second half defensive performance continues for the Knights. Hot potato with possession after the throw-in, back and forth. Bears looking for the clear. Knights are quick to push them back. Race for the ball now on the near sideline. The Bears found that clear. They found it all the way into their offensive zone. And one pass, and there is the flag. You saw the nice little move to play it with the inside portion of the foot after that pass. Dangle move, so to speak, trying to set up an opportunity to run underneath of it. But the offsides flag makes it all for none. Almost 15 minutes into this second half, the Knights have found some new momentum, a new feeling here in this game. And there is another offsides flag, and that is going to bring a huge sigh of relief for the Knights players, coaches, and fans, as the Bears had earned the offensive zone with some momentum and style. and they were piecing it together there. The Knights got their first goal of the game, and you immediately think about how much that's going to change the game for them, and you don't think about how that's going to change the game for the Bears as well. Maybe they have a new fire lit underneath them, trying to make sure that the Knights don't hold on to those hopes for a comeback. Knights saw what was developing from the Bears there and quickly cleared it over the line. .50-50 ball on that far sideline, won by the speedy Avery Lane. Knights had their angle cut off. Nice, strong defensive stand. Looked like they were out of position for a moment, but quickly were able to recover. Bears with the through ball. It's a race. And KDF wins it by maybe half a step. Bears win it for a moment as we saw it go back and forth, the ball pinballing around between the two teams. But we know for sure the last 4 or 5 minutes has been spent on this side of the field. The Bears, a little bit of a change for them after surrendering the first goal of the game. Their offense has come alive here a little bit, but they don't have much to show for it just yet. But, of course, they can afford to miss a few opportunities, still up 2, still in a very comfortable position. Knights need the stops, need to switch the fields back onto the other side. Knights stepping up from the line, clearing it out of the box for a moment, and now looking for the big clear out of the defensive zone. Bears keeping the hopes alive offensively. And Friedenberg comes off. As you saw, the Knights were starting to push forward. They thought the clear was coming. Quickly, it was bouncing into their offensive zone, or into their defensive zone, in a less than favorable position. On their heels here as we approach 25 minutes left to play in this second half. We said the key for the game, the key for the comeback was the Knights. They got to win this second half. They're winning it so far. They need to win it a little bit bigger. This is moving the field goal post on them just a little bit, but I guess really what we should have said is they need to win the second half in a big way as we see a shot. And that one, I believe, split the uprights. So somewhere that'll count for 3, but nothing in the game we're playing. And my, oh my, big sigh of relief from the players, coaches, and fans of the Knights. Bouncing ball in a very, very good goal-scoring area. And the Bears miss out on a tough one. Knights looking to catch their breath, looking to regroup. Bears looking to hold on to this momentum. Build on it maybe. And passing display from the Bears here strong over the last minute. Running into the interception at the end of it all, though. Friedenberg stepped up. Big clear on to the other side of the field. Let the Knights set up defensively just a bit. And my, oh my, how quick. Blink and you missed it. The run for the Bears starts. Chip in, and great body positioning by the defense once again. Moving up the ladder, the Bears. And that chip was right into a great goal-scoring area, but Knights defense cut off the driving angle. The Bears couldn't run underneath of it. And that was number 16, Sarah Briggs, who shut off the driving lane for the Knights defensively that time. And it's official. We have hit 25 minutes left to play in this contest, and time is running out on the Knights here. If they want to see the other end of the comeback trail, if they want to continue their winning streak, they've won 2 games in a row leading into this game. This is their 4th game of the week. As we see a nice cross. Bears are there, but so are the Knights to get the big clear. The Knights currently 2-1 on this long week of soccer, and they're playing the Bears in what is a rescheduled matchup for a game that was canceled earlier in the season. All right, trying to avoid the Sunday scaries, the Sunday letdown. A big test for them right here in front of this 3-person wall. What a save! And no rebound opportunity. KDF. Kayla Davis-Friend climbs the tippy top of the ladder and makes the save, and then quickly gets back on top of the rebound opportunity. And a huge save to keep the comeback hopes alive for the Knights. That was a beautiful strike up and over the wall. And you saw it coming down in perfect position to come just under the crossbar. But then those pesky mitts of the goalie came and got it. Huge moment here in this game. That is a momentum builder for the Knights. Can they go and capitalize on it? So many times you think of momentum, you think of offense. Plays like that go a long way in creating momentum on the other side as well. As we see the stoppage in play after the tough tackle. The game resumes. Real tough break there, as it did seem like there was a lot of contact on that tackle for sure. The refs have been letting it go really for most of this game. Certainly a tough one, as the Knights looked like they were building some momentum and headed in towards a goal-scoring area. And now they've got to do that all over again with the ball back in their defensive zone. Switching fields. Lane runs up underneath of it. Space in the offensive zone. Centering pass to Grace. One more. Into the box with the other. And no rebound attempt. That was great offense. Passing up good shots for a better shot. And then you saw the Knights. Abram, the one all the way on the far side of the box who ended up getting the shot off, was almost out of position, not expecting that pass, but was still able to get underneath of it and get to it. A save made by the keeper, but momentum still building for the Knights, still showing that those attack lanes are out there. And my, oh my, if the Knights are able to find one more, how much will things tensen up? How much will this game change? This game is one goal away from changing completely. Who's going to find that goal? And up over everyone's head, but the flag up. And just in the nick of time, the Knights do a good job of moving as a line. Get the offsides flag to use on their favor. Bears wanted the handball call. And Vetri takes a tough one on a deflection there. That will bring the stoppage of time. Vetri quickly up on her feet. Such a tough player. So much toughness out there on display from so many players on this Knights team, putting the body on the line. Toughness has been on display not only game long, but all season long, as Lane looking to turn the corner and cannot poke it through by the goalie, as the defense with the thunderous steps right there on the hip pocket. Speak of blink and you missed it moments. That was one for sure. Ball was all the way on the other side, and then quickly Avery Lane was running in towards the goal. And the Knights will look for another moment like that here. Under 20 minutes to play. Time running out here on the comeback hopes. It ain't over, but it's getting low. We will take a break with the two teams. 19:23 is left. 3-1 is the score on the big board. The action on the field will resume, and the hopes remain alive a little bit longer for this Knights team, trying to see the other end of the comeback trail, trying to at least get this game tied before we hit triple zeros on the board for the final time. The Knights started this second half down 3, and they're now only down 2. They've gotten a few extra chances, 3 shots on goal total in this second half. And that, of course, a big change from what we saw in the first half. The Knights shut out completely in the first half. A really, truly dominating performance from the Bears in half number 1, capped off by a penalty kick goal for the third and final goal of the first 45. And Coach King had a good halftime speech, had good adjustments that he wanted to see from his players, which I'm sure he was seeing take place in front of him at the end of the first half when the Knights started making a few adjustments themselves on the field, as we see a nice strong take from Brown. Diamond Brown had the angle cut off more than a few times on that near sideline right in front of us, but somehow kept the head down and created that offensive chance for the Knights. They'll need to keep it in their offensive zone. Rolling ball in towards the middle. Quickly struck and put out of the defensive zone for the Bears. And they are piecing these passes together. And no one there to run under the long pass in towards the box. And just 17 minutes separates these two teams from the final whistle. Headed towards desperation time here for the Knights, but that may not be a bad thing if they can put just one more on. If they can get this to a 1-goal game and the tension ups just a little bit, you got to think that would favor them just by nature of the comeback. And the Bears would be on their heels. They would be the ones forced. I was going to say into the tough situation, but they're already in the tough situation with a player down and a stoppage. 16:53 left in this one. 3-0 is our score on the big board. Substitutions check into the game as the action continues. Nice little one-touch up the elevator shaft, creating a chance for the Bears, and the angle cut off defensively once again. Nice centering pass back in towards the other side of the box as it went from the far side right back to the near side. No one was able to run underneath of it. 2 defenders using the body to shield the offensive player. And the Knights will need another strong play defensively. No, they won't, as the flag bails them out. They created the strong play on their own by moving as a unit, as a line, using that offsides flag as an extra defender. The offense for the Bears couldn't help themselves. Got caught out of position. Every turnover, every change of possession for the Knights keeps hope alive just a little bit. The more this ball stays on their defensive side, the more it feels hopeless. 15 minutes left. And there is the first gift that the Knights needed. The change of possession, the goal kick now. Knights couldn't find possession after the goal kick. Bears instead making a run for the cross and shut off a moment. Second effort, poked away. Great stand defensively, and then the big clear. Now Avery Lane has numbers. Looking for the real estate. Nice hesitation, but could not get around that defender. Man, what could have been? What might still be? Knights looking, and they'll have to look a little bit more. Oh, my. 14 minutes left in this one. And the Bears have themselves an opportunity, a freebie. About 10 yards outside the box. In towards the middle, off the post, and into the back of the net on the second effort. And that, my friends, I think may be the dagger. A great strike. Friendly neighborhood post made the save initially, but the second effort too much. And it is 4 goals for the Bears. And it looks like the win streak may come to an end at 2 for the Knights. And if this is going to be the end of that win streak, the Knights, with a loss here today, will fall to 9-4-1 on the season and 4-3 at home. We knew it was going to be a test for this Knights team. You looked at the numbers, and the offensive numbers were certainly tilted towards the Knights with the 4.3 goals per game average compared to the 1.8 goals per game average of the Bears. But the defensive numbers, they were even. They were as close as you can get. So you knew that if the Bears could answer the Knights' strong defense with a strong defensive performance of their own, well, it was going to be a test, and that is exactly what the Bears have done. They have been the test. Coach King probably going to be disappointed with the final outcome of this game, but I'm sure he's seen a lot from his team, especially in the second half, that'll have him happy for what this season has still in store for them. Still a couple more games in the regular season and then the conference and region tournament. And then if all goes well there is a potential return trip to the national tournament in store for this team. Still some work to be done and answers that they need to find within themselves after what has been a tough matchup with this Harcum Bears team. This Harcum Bears team and this Harcum Bears program overall has been a tough matchup for a couple of coaches here around campus. I know Coach Cini doesn't want me to talk about the Harcum Bears and what kind of thorn they were in the side of the women's basketball team last year. They run a good ship over there, and they've been a tough matchup for all the programs here and all the teams at CCBC Essex. It'll be a tough end to the jam-packed sports weekend and week total here at CCBC Essex, but even with a tough end to the week, it's still been a great week of soccer action here at the Castle. Of course, starting that action on Tuesday with two just tremendous games with their rival over at Hartford Community College, the Fighting Owls. And then this weekend, two games at the Castle with the teams returning. And then both the men and women, as we see a nice display of athleticism from the coach. There was also a road trip in there for the men's and women's soccer team as well. But a long week of soccer for everyone involved. And it's going to roll right into next week as we have more soccer action on Tuesday, live here at the Castle. It is the Battle of the CCBCs. CCBC Catonsville versus CCBC Essex. The Cardinals will look to play spoiler for Coach Fiedler and the men's team on Tuesday at 7. Your women's team has a away game on Thursday at Montgomery, so a early opportunity to put this loss behind them. Nice deflection there as that one is sent away and towards the sideline. If it goes out back towards the goal, much different story. Knights understanding what's in front of them here with this game, but also still keeping the spirits high and the effort strong. And I'm sure a big part of that is not wanting to surrender any more goals. KDF with the save off the line and the big boot. Knights looking for possession here. Instead, finding a little game of hot potato, back and forth. The ball going from one side to the other between these two teams. Everyone's getting their cardio in for today. And that has been a theme really all day. How many times have we watched this Bears team go from one side to the other? And do it quickly, as we see the Knights getting a chance to do it here. Oh, that's intercepted. Grace looking for Lane up the far sideline. Substitutions check into the game for the Knights. Another throw in. Bouncing ball. Brown's trying to run underneath of it. The Bears clear it out initially. Oh, nice step over move, creating the space, and now putting the brakes on. And the individual play, whether it's been through passing or dribbling, it's been strong here for the Bears. The Knights defense had to have been everywhere all at once. They just haven't been able to do that enough here today. Man, oh man. That one was very interesting. Tough break there. The Knights get it back. If you believe in the soccer gods, I would say that's probably why they got it immediately back after that whistle. Just one of those days, really. Tough day at the office for this Knights team. They stayed strong, and they have put together quite a few strong runs in the game. The Bears have had too many answers, too many challenges for this Knights team. And the Knights are now 5 minutes away from what will be their 4th loss of the season, their 3rd loss at home. A very interesting stat with the Knights falling to 4-3 at home, 4-1-1 on the road. So the not-so-friendly confines of the Castle this season for Coach King's squad. I guess maybe the silver lining in that is there's not that many more home games left in the season. I always like to say with the start of October here at the Castle means spooky season arrives and playoff season is just around the corner for soccer. October is when coaches really start tuning up the teams, putting those little final touches on the lineups and different matchups. You really want to figure out a way to make sure that your team is playing their best soccer right here in this month. And the Knights have certainly shown signs of that in October already. The 8-2 victory at Carroll, and then a 9-0 victory yesterday. And then, of course, they started the month with a defeat against the Fighting Owls, but what a tremendous contest that was, and a real learning block moment for them, I'm sure. They have been tested early in the month of October, and that is no different than what the season has been all season long. They've been tested early from the word go, and they have answered most tests that have been placed in front of them. You know, sometimes the schedule can favor a team in terms of you have a long stretch of favorable matchups, so to speak. But one thing that you cannot fake is 6 shutouts. They do not just give those out. And this Knights team, that's exactly what they've got. 6 shutout victories to their name. They certainly do not just give those out. You got to earn them. They've got the clean sheet 6 times this season. And they need to dig back into their bag of tricks once again in their week of practice coming up and figure out what they need to do to get their defense firing on all cylinders. Get the knives sharpened up, so to speak. A tough day at the office for Coach King and the Knights players. A tough end of the week as the Knights will end this week going 2-2. Centering pass with Lopez there to cut it off. Bears looking for some more offense here. Final 90 seconds. Oh, nice move around the defender. Great cross. And one black jersey there, but a whole mess of white jerseys. Good positioning defensively. Steal right there at the midfield. Bears looking for one more attack. One more run. They had 9 goals on the season coming into this one, and they've come pretty close to reaching half of that here. A tough day at the office for the Knights, and maybe the best day at the office all season long for this Bears team. As the flip side to the Knights falling to 9-4-1, the Bears will be improving to 3-1-2 on the season. And these could be two teams that match up once again at some point when we get into the playoffs, which is just a couple of weeks away. The final horn in this one just seconds away. The final score, the Bears steal one from the Knights here at the Castle. 4-1 is the final score. The Knights, a tough loss here to close out this week, but a whole mess of season left in front of them. A couple games left in the regular season, and they've got their eyes on the tournament. Just got to figure out a few things before we get there. Join us on Tuesday at 7 o'clock for more soccer action. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Aaron Thomas for the final time this week saying good afternoon, good evening, and good night.